The night started like any other episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, with an enthusiastic crowd, quirky monologue, and the kind of buzz that only big-name celebrities bring. But this particular episode was about to take a turn that no one saw coming. Samuel L. Jackson, known for his explosive on-screen personas and equally candid off-screen opinions, was the evening's guest. Expectations were high, especially since his recent film had shattered box office records. As Jackson took the stage, the applause was thunderous, but underneath the surface, tension was simmering because something had happened just minutes before the cameras started rolling, and both men carried that energy into the interview. Jackson, never one to play it safe, kicked off the conversation with humor but quickly pivoted into more serious territory. "Jimmy, man, let's skip the fluff," he said with a smirk. "Let's talk about the real stuff for once." Kimmel laughed nervously, unsure if this was part of a bit or a genuine detour from the usual promo script. "Well, I thought we were here to talk about your movie," he replied. But Jackson wasn't budging. "The movie's out there, it's doing great, but the world's on fire. And you want to joke about red carpets?" The audience chuckled, unsure whether to cheer or squirm. Kimmel, maintaining his host demeanor, tried redirecting. "Okay, well, since we're going deep of what's on your mind, Sam." That's when Jackson leaned in and said, You've built this platform, and you still play safe. You call out stuff when it's trending, but where are you when it really matters?" The audience gasped slightly at the unexpected turn. Kimmel's smile faded, and his eyes narrowed just enough to signal irritation. "I think I've done my fair share," he replied coolly. "You don't get to sit on that couch and question my integrity." But Jackson wasn't letting go. What followed was a back and forth unlike anything late-night TV had seen in years. Jackson accused Kimmel of being a Hollywood diplomat, someone who critiques softly but never challenges the system. "I've done movies where I've risked more than your jokes ever will," Jackson fired. Kimmel responded sharply, "You're an actor, Sam. You're paid to pretend. I'm here trying to navigate live television without turning every night into a political war zone." The tension now reached boiling point. There was no laughter, just dry emotion exchanged in front of a live audience unsure whether to look away or lean in closer. Jackson shifted in his chair, visibly annoyed. "You don't think this platform has power? You don't think people listen? Then what are you doing here?" He pressed. Kimmel, matching his energy, stood his ground. "I'm trying to entertain people without getting death threats. Maybe you've got the luxury of being reckless, but I don't." The conversation, now a confrontation, had derailed completely from its intended direction. Producers backstage were scrambling, unsure if they should cut to commercial or let it play out. But before anyone could intervene, Jackson stood up and looked straight into the camera. "People out there watching, wake up," he said. "Stop waiting for entertainers to save you. We've all got a voice. Use it." With that, he began unhooking his microphone. Kimmel, still seated, looked stunned. "Sam, come on, don't do this," he said, perhaps sensing that things had gone too far. But Jackson was done. "Nah, man, you want to keep pretending? That's your choice. I'm out." The audience gasped as he walked off stage. The camera cut quickly to Kimmel, who tried to salvage the moment with a shaky laugh. Samuel L. Jackson, every innie a broken bar, always full of surprises. As soon as the segment ended, social media erupted. Within minutes, clips of the confrontation began circulating on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Some viewers hailed Jackson as a truth-teller, someone brave enough to challenge the system on its own stage. Others felt he had disrespected a host who had offered him a platform. Hashtags like #Jackson vs. Kimmel and #WalkOff went viral. People weren't just talking about what happened, they were dissecting every word, every expression, every pause in the conversation. The internet had found its latest cultural flashpoint, and it was spreading fast. In the hours that followed, statements began pouring in. ABC issued a vague comment: "Live television is unpredictable, and we support open dialogue between our guests and hosts." Kimmel's team remained quiet, likely weighing the fallout. Jackson, on the other hand, went live on Instagram, addressing the moment. "I didn't go there to fight. I went there to tell the truth. If that makes people uncomfortable, so be it." His followers flooded the comments with support, calling him bold, unapologetic, and necessary. The video racked up millions of views in just hours. Behind the scenes, Kimmel was reportedly furious. Sources claimed he felt blindsided, believing the interview would be about Jackson's film and not a full-blown ideological critique. Some crew members said Kimmel considered canceling the rest of the night's taping. "He's shaken," one anonymous staffer revealed. "He's used to things getting political, but not personal." In private, Kimmel vented to close friends, calling Jackson's move a betrayal. But others argued that it was a long time coming, that maybe late-night television had become too comfortably and Jackson just broke the illusion. Other celebrities soon weighed in. Some defended Kimmel, saying he's one of the few hosts still willing to take risks. Others praised Jackson's outburst as necessary and overdue. Even late-night rivals like Stephen Colbert and Seth Meyers were asked about the incident, though most refused to comment directly. It became the kind of media circus that networks both fear and secretly crave, controversial enough to spark headlines, yet still controllable. But in this case, the usual PR playbook didn't apply. The moment was too raw, too real, and too unscripted to be swept under the rug.